from concentration, this leads to insight.
It does. So, by being able to concentrate upon experience, reality, as it presents itself to us, we can see into the nature of that reality.
Yeah.
And something mind-blowing presents itself.
Yes.
Because what we discover when we look deeply into the nature of experience is that, shock horror, it consists of experiences.
Yes.
Now, the slightly mind-blowing thing about this is experience consists of experiences. No matter where we look, we don't find an experiencer.
Who watches the watcher? No one watches the watcher.
Yeah. What we find when we look for that watcher is that's just another experience.
Yeah.
When we look for a self in our experience itself, we don't find it. We don't find the thing having the experiences. We just find more experiences.
Find the experiences, yeah. Because the experience of the watcher is an experience.
Yeah.
And the experience of the self, you recognize it as an experience.
Yeah. And hence...
Which is always fun when you realize it's like, oh, things aren't what I thought they were at all. Yeah.
No, hence the somewhat wacky image.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's a good description. It's a head that's exploded, which I mean is fair enough. It's not too gory because we made the attempt not to on anyone to go through the gore. There's kind of the flash of lightning, but it's also there's the cosmic end of it. It's kind of it's looking out into the grand, universe or creation or whatever. It's like it's seeing that the universe in one sense is in your head, which it is because everything's in your head or in this experience, whatever you want to. Of course, there's the reflections of the magician card from the tarot. There's the Salve Coagula. There's almost his robe is a bit magician-y as well. There's just kind of there's a few things going on. This is one of the ones where I think we really brought ourselves into it a bit more.
Definitely.
Of course, again, still in the desert. We're still we didn't stray too far from our team, but. Yeah, it was the image. We went through it. There was a couple of ones. The original one I had was he's pointing to his head, and not doing the magician thing. And then you said, "No, can we do the magician thing?" And I think it works much better that way. I like it. There's something very, I don't know, striking about it, or something. There's something, you go, "What is that? What's going on here?"
Yeah, definitely one of my favourite ones, Tommy. I mean, the things I like about it, I like the way that the figure is really androgynous.
Yes.
I like the way that the guy's head is disappearing into this cosmic flash. Like we were saying, when we look into experience, we discover that there's no experience. His head is disappearing, and in its place, there's this kind of universe.
Everything.
And I think there's a nod there to Douglas Harding.
Definitely. Yeah.
Not having a head,
and I suppose the whole nature of headless rituals and all these things. The headless thing is something that's it's hard to get away from within magic and these things.
Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Julian Vane for some reason. I don't know why.
Right. I totally see that. Yeah. I can't unsee that now. That's it. You've ruined it for me. Every time it's the Julian card now. That's it. Yeah. That's mad. Yeah.
But that as above, so below thing going on. Solve et coagula Baphomet.
Yeah. Lots going on there. We've put a lot in there. So from any divination, what would it mean?
Insight.
Strangely enough.
Yeah. It's got that aspect of the the tower in the tarot. You know, that sudden breakthrough, that sudden whoa moment.
Yeah.
That can be somewhat startling, perhaps.
Yeah, as you said, that a radical shift in identity or understanding, something very, oh, hold on, some realization, insight, something that changes the nature of how you see something. So, well, not change it, reveals it to what it actually is, I suppose, rather than it's not creating a new falsehood.
This card has got magical aspects to it, perhaps, like the Rapture card that we saw earlier. But what those magical aspects are about here are more to do with the relationship to truth, maybe. So synchronicity
might be
one of the meanings of this card, or some sort of glimpse of the nature of reality, as it actually is. Yeah.
So from a reversed point of view, what would this say? A lack of insight.
Yeah, it would. Maybe the reverse meanings tap into something that perhaps we haven't quite covered yet, which is that, this is not an end point, this card. It's still a step on the road towards wisdom. Because there's something perhaps temporary about it, like it's a lightning flash.
Yes.
That's removing the guy's head. It's something glimpsed. It's not a final state that's arrived at. And this can come into the negative meanings of that card, when it's mistaken for that. So if it's seen as something definitive.
Right, yeah. I suppose it's UPG then, in a sense, isn't it? It's like unverified personal gnosis, where you have an understanding or something, and then you project it as being the truth of all things, or everything else is truth.
Yeah. Other things we've got here: confusing one's own desires with reality.
So colouring the world with your own shit.
Yeah.